Welcome to episode 19 of Let's Play Civilization 3, Play the World. Alright, our war continues. And by the way, I actually found a way that the sound of the game can get onto the recording. Unfortunately, it's very glitchy, and it's out of sync with the video. So I've turned its level way down, but you can probably still hear it a little bit. At least it gives you some of the atmospherics of the game. And for some reason the video is very skippy, so you might be missing certain parts here. But yeah, these wars generally take a lot of time, especially when you're actively trying to conquer. And it's not even because they are a tough civilization, it's just because it takes a long time to move the troops and get them in place and have them attack. But slowly but surely we're realizing our goal of the conquest of the Japanese country. And I do think I am going to go through with taking over the entire country, because I really can. Oh, by the way, Shakespeare's theater is another great wonder. It makes 8 unhappy citizens in the city content, which really makes that city a very happy place to be. And also, it has tons of culture. Now, attack this city. And it gets a little bit glitchy here, but I do take the city. And as you can see, there's a big gap between this city and the one to the northwest. And I believe I already have a settler on the way to come down into the spot in the middle to form a new city. Get rid of that guy. And I like to attack these longbowmen before they become a real problem. And well, I get him and fortify them there. Eventually I'm going to want to move north and continue my conquest. Alright. Lots of longbowmen. The thing about longbowmen is that they're very cheap and they don't require any resources, so the Japanese, as small as they are, have been able to send a lot of them towards us to hamper our invasion efforts. So a lot of resources we could be spending pressing our advance further on, we're instead spending to ward off these longbowmen. But my superior forces should pretty easily be able to repel them. And that city there in Nagasaki is a key goal now. I really want to conquer the city, and there's even a specific reason. You might see a little white powdery thing immediately to the east of Nagasaki next time we focus on it. That is a resource called saltpeter. Now, I believe that's how it's pronounced, I'm not really sure. But the importance of that resource is it allows you to build the unit cavalry. And cavalry are an essential offensive unit. They have an attack of 6 and a defense of 3, as well as a movement of 3, which makes them the fastest unit we see so far. And here we have Newton's University, which doubles scientific research in the city it's built. Also provides a good deal of culture. But with these cavalry, put it to you this way: if I had cavalry instead of elephant soldiers, this war would probably already be over, because they are fast. They're fast, they're tough, they can even hold their own against riflemen, and they're an essential tool of the late Middle Ages as well as the early and middle portions of the modern age. They won't be bettered until we get the tank. And the downside of the tank, when we see it, is that it's slower than the cavalry. You won't get a unit as fast as the cavalry until the modern armor, which is in the modern era, near the end of the game. So cavalry is king for quite a long time. But at least we're getting our money's worth out of the Elephant Warrior. They're forming the main offensive unit in this this war. And if you noticed, upgrades from Spearman to Pikeman used to cost 10 gold, but now they cost 5. That's because we control the city that has Leonardo's workshop. Now, wonders will only provide culture for the civilization that built them. However, the benefits of that advance can be felt no matter who owns it. So, even though we've been unsuccessful in building any wonders ourselves, we control one, and by the end of the game, I'm pretty sure we're going to control others. And things are getting very laggy here. I'm not sure why. This is really the first time that this has happened to this extent. But, so you can see the longbowmen are giving us problems down there. We get to expand our palace some more, and it's actually starting to look like a real palace now, rather than just a bunch of stuff. Smith's Trading Company is very good for your economy because it pays for your marketplaces and banks. It would have been, I had been building it, but I was beat to it. Which I guess I just have to be okay with that. Now, they'll often do this. They'll send a defensive unit all by itself to wander into your territory, find a road that's over a resource or a luxury, and pillage that and destroy the road. And that can be a big problem if you don't watch out for them, because they're pretty easy to forget about them, because they don't really pose an offensive threat, but they will tear up your roads, so it's important to kill them when you see them. So far, this part of the invasion hasn't been going that quickly, and we're probably going to have to probably going to have to send more troops, and expect that it's going to take a tad bit longer. Now what I'm doing here is sending the offensive force, and see, they have musketmen. Now musketmen are more advanced than pikemen, and they require the saltpeter resource. They have an attack of 2, but a defense of 4, which makes them a 1-for-1 match for the war elephant. But they're more likely to win, the musketmen are more likely to win battles because they are fortified, they're in cities, which increases their defensive stat. So taking that city is really going to be difficult. But, of course, we're going to do it. No matter if we have to send 10, 15, 20 war elephants, we're going to do it because we really want that resource. Alright, send him. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to move him because of there's too many soldiers in the area, and he could get, if an enemy takes your worker, he becomes one of theirs. So they don't kill him like the barbarians do, but I don't want to lose my worker, so get him out of there. Alright, I think I'm going to leave the video at that. Join us next time for part 20, in which we will push forward our invasion.